Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. I am Ben Axlerod with your 3 News Now update. I'm filling in for Stephanie Haney today. Happy weekend, almost weekend, and let's get started here with our coronavirus numbers in the state of Ohio. We saw a slight rise in cases on Thursday, although a decline in deaths and hospital admissions, but we did see a rise in ICU admissions. As far as total confirmed and probable cases, we saw 429 new cases on Thursday. That is up from the 413 new cases we saw on Wednesday. As far as deaths, we saw 33 new deaths on Thursday. That is slightly down from the 36 new deaths we saw on Wednesday. Hospitalizations, we saw 60 new hospitalizations on Thursday. That is down from the 73 hospitalizations that we saw on Wednesday. In ICU admissions, 18 new ICU admissions on Thursday. That is up from the 6 new ICU admissions we saw on Wednesday. Moving on, Ohio State Senator Steve Huffman fired after comments about African Americans and their hygiene. Ohio State Senator Stephen Huffman of District 5 has been fired from his job as an emergency doctor on Thursday following comments he made during a hearing this week in which Ohio lawmakers were discussing legislation that would make racism a public health crisis in the state. On tape, Huffman is heard saying, "Could it just be that African Americans or the colored population do not wash their hands as well as other groups, or wear masks, or do not socially distance themselves? Could that just be the explanation of why there's a higher incidence?" Huffman's former employer, Team Health, confirmed to our sister station WDTN that he was relieved of his duties as a direct result of his comments in a statement. Dr. Huffman's comments are wholly inconsistent with our values and commitment to creating a tolerant and diverse workplace. Team Health has terminated Dr. Huffman's employment. State Representative Stephanie House of Cleveland, who also serves as the president of the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus, says Huffman's comments are what systematic racism looks like, and there's no place for it, especially in Ohio's governing body. Another big story on Thursday, Dr. Amy Acton stepping down as the Ohio Director of Health. Governor Mike DeWine made the shocking announcement during his Thursday press conference. Acton will continue to serve as DeWine's chief health advisor. Lance Himes will serve as the Ohio Department of Health's interim director, a role he previously held prior to Dr. Acton taking over in February of 2019. A native of Youngstown, Dr. Acton has been one of the faces of Ohio's response to the coronavirus pandemic. She initially received a lot of praise for her calm demeanor and measured approach with a column in the New York Times, even calling her the leader we all wish we had. But while Dr. Acton was lauded by many, she also had a lot of detractors and received a lot of criticism from those who believed that Ohio's response to the coronavirus went too far and had too much of a negative impact on the state's economy. The Ohio House of Representatives passed actually legislation that would have limited Dr. Acton's power to execute issuing orders to only 14 days. However, that bill did not pass in the Ohio Senate. Protesters even showed up at her personal residence. On Thursday, Governor DeWine reiterated that any order that Dr. Acton issued came at his directive, and she will continue to serve as an advisor throughout the coronavirus pandemic. Moving on to a more local story, Cuyahoga County has a rent plan that's going to provide to residents for relief with unemployment hitting record numbers in the state. Many are now facing economic concerns. Cuyahoga County Executive Armin Budish said on Friday that a recent survey shows more than 21% of Ohio residents are currently unable to make their housing payments. Budish said, "We want to keep people in their homes and their apartments. We're doing everything we can to get our residents through this coronavirus economic crisis." Budish has announced a $6.8 million relief plan. Budish said, "I've recommended to council that we provide $5 million of our corona relief funds that come from the federal government and $1.8 million of our community development grant funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for rent relief. Money will be available for residents to apply for within the next month." Budish said that the Cleveland Housing Network will be ready for applications on July 1st, but anyone who needs assistance should now call 211. He said that the county is joining forces with the city of Cleveland, Cleveland Heights, East Cleveland, Euclid, Lakewood, and Parma to create a countywide system for emergency rental assistance to prevent people from losing their homes and ending up homeless. Our next story, Cleveland Metroparks has announced its reopening plans for June 17th. On Friday, zoo officials announced their plan to reopen on June 17th. However, like so many other attractions reopening in Ohio, the zoo will look different. The greatest change coming to the facility is limiting its capacity to 75%. To help with the change, the zoo is requiring all visitors to make a reservation in advance. Reservations can be made online and at the box office. Metroparks Director Dr. Chris Kuhar said, "We can't wait to reopen our zoo to make our conservation community after 3 months." We can't wait to reopen our zoo to our conservation community after 3 months. While guests can expect to see many of their favorite animals and attractions, including the brand new Daniel Mott's Rhino Reserve, we will have several safety measures to help protect our staff, guests, and animals. For safety and sanitation, hand washing stations have been installed across zoo grounds. Zoo employees will be sanitizing high-touch areas every hour. Additionally, while the zoo encourages guests to follow guidelines outlined by the CDC and the use of face coverings, they are not required. Employees will be required to wear face coverings. As a precaution, the following attractions and services will remain closed: the rainforest, all play areas, the contact yard and camel ride experience, tram service, interiors of certain buildings, including the Primate Cat and Aquatics building and Sarah Allison Steffi Center, may be closed at times depending on the capacity or staff limitations. Reservations and tickets are now available on the zoo's website. That's going to do it for our 3 News Now update today. I'm Ben Axlerod. Have a great weekend, and we will be back with you later this afternoon to give you all the latest in the Cleveland news and national news. Thanks for watching, guys.